Today, I'm going to be explaining the 7 most common sourcing methods to find products as an Amazon FBA seller. Over the past 3 years, I've sold nearly £5 million worth of products, which has netted me over 600 grand in profit in the process. And in this video, I'm going to be going through each sourcing method that I use in my own business and giving you tips and tricks so that you can utilize them to make profit for yourself. These methods have helped hundreds of my mentorship students start selling on Amazon and making profit. And this month, for just £290 per month, I'm offering access to my full mentorship program. Click the link down below in the video description to learn more. Well, let's get into the video. So the first and probably the most simplest to understand is retail arbitrage. So this is one you might have seen all over TikTok, where essentially you're just going to stores like Tesco, Asda and Smiths and using an app on your phone, usually Profit Go, to scan the barcodes of basically every item in the store that you think has potential. Usually you're looking for stuff on clearance or stuff in big sales, and you're just checking the price on Amazon, working out whether that item actually sells and whether the ROI is kind of worth it to buy. Literally just been doing RA at this Tesco right across the road from our apartment, and I found 350 quid in profit from just like one shelf. And it was crazy. I went in there just trying to look for some Pokemon sets. They didn't actually have them, but just from a load of other items I found, I made about £350 in profit. And what's even better, the margin on these is I'm basically doubling my money, and that tends to be the case with retail arbitrage. It's probably the highest margin of anything I'm going to talk about today. And really the only limitation is scale. It's not really practical to be doing my sort of numbers where you're making 20, 30, 40 grand a month in profit, because there's just not enough stock at these stores. But definitely on the lower end, it's definitely what I'd be recommending to beginners. One of my tips for this sourcing method is it's probably easiest if you're doing this if you have a car, because you can drive around to multiple stores within like an hour or so it's not super time consuming. There's definitely cases where you will go to a store and just not really find a lot, and then you drive to another Tesco just 20 minutes away and suddenly there is, like today, 350 quid worth of profit waiting for you. And something else I'd really recommend is actually using stock checking software like the stock checkers in LiveCops, the Discord group, as that allows you to basically just type in a barcode or a product code and check what local stores have stock, even to the point of literally what aisle that item is in. And that means instead of kind of faffing about for hours at each store, scanning every single item on the shelf, you just straight away go in and you know what you're looking for. You know straight away, oh, it's in aisle 40 on the right in this section, and you just put it in your basket, go buy it, send it off to Amazon, and it's done. So now we're on to kind of the methods of searching online for products rather than going in-store and in-person to these places. And manual sourcing is really simple. It's literally where you're just going on websites and you're manually searching through basically every product on that retail site, just literally looking up the product name on Amazon, trying to find the listing for it and checking if the price is cheap enough. Out of every arbitrage method I do, is probably one of the best, just because you end up finding products that no one else has really taken the time to actually go out there and find. But the downside to it is pretty time consuming. You know, when you've got websites that could have thousands of products, manually searching every single one obviously takes quite a long time. It's something that I do a lot of in my own business, but it's not me directly doing it. I have a team of staff in the Philippines working for me doing this stuff, because my time is just valuable and I don't want to be spending 80 hours a week searching manually for these products. My tips and tricks for this is, rather than just kind of going in blind and just kind of searching everything willy-nilly, I think it's really good if you can sign up to the mailing list for sites and keep up to date with any discounts and promotions they're doing. Searching clearance sales and discounts and stuff like that can be a much more profitable and time-effective way of doing it. And I'd also recommend getting the Chrome extensions Honey and Keepa, as that'll allow you to check for coupons at the checkout to get prices even lower. If you head down below to the video description, there is actually a list of 100+ different retailers that you can get started with. These are all stores that I've used myself to find products before. So yeah, if you click the link in the description and scroll all the way down to the bottom of our website, it's right at the bottom and it's completely free to get. Next up is storefront sourcing. So this is one of the most popular methods of sourcing products as a beginner seller doing Amazon. Essentially, the concept is pretty simple. You just find your competitors on Amazon, so you're just looking at other items that usually have high seller counts, so you can find a high density of other Amazon arbitrage sellers, and you're then looking through their stores and basically just having a big list of all of their products and trying to copy them and follow in their footsteps. So you will literally just Google every single product that's in their storefront, and you'll then just try and find those products somewhere else on the internet at a profitable price. Now, this can be really good because it can be quite time effective. It's pretty easy to find leads in this way, because often if they've just sent that product into Amazon, it might still be available on the same side that they bought it from. But That said, there are definitely caveats to this method. Because it's just the easiest way of finding these products often get quite heavily saturated by just a lot of other people doing this sort of thing. And if you're on a product which only sells, say, 30 times a month and there's now 60 different people trying to sell it, it turns into a bit of a bloodbath with people undercutting each other, trying to be the best price. And generally, I don't use this method too much in my own business, but I would say it's pretty good for beginners to just kind of learn the ropes. As part of the Discord group that I'm in, LiveCops, you actually get a storefront bot completely for free included in the membership. And that allows you to track other people's storefronts with software. And that basically means you can get ahead of everyone else that is just manually checking stores and not really having a clue when those products actually came into stock. Because obviously if that person has already been holding the item for months, there's a very slim chance you can be able to find it at the store that they bought it from. But if you get a notification on the day that they send it to Amazon, you know, it's literally just left their house pretty much, you then have a way higher chance of actually being able to find that item. So my main tip is really just use software like Storefront bot, which is included in LiveCops, and that'll give you a way higher chance of actually finding items with this method. Now, speaking of software, on to the next method. So I would say software can be a really good aid for sourcing, and ProfitPath definitely does this extremely well. ProfitPath is a bit of software that is about £70 per month. I'm sure I'll be able to kind of put a discount code or something like that in the video description down below for you guys. But essentially what it does is it automatically scans websites for deals. There are a huge amount of websites, I'm talking like 300-400 plus different sites at this point, and it allows you to go through all of that data and work out profitable products to sell without having to kind of manually go through, say, 100 different products before you find that one product that is actually profitable on Amazon. It's really, really time saving, it cuts out a lot of the work, and it's also got a whole bunch of other features like the Amazon to Amazon feature, the wholesale scanner. It's just more an all-in-one bit of software for Amazon sellers. Also incorporated in that subscription is software that you can use to actually analyze the deals, Profit Go, which you might have seen me previously talk about. So all round, it's definitely something that I'd recommend using. My probably top tip for this is just in terms of what features to pay attention to. Definitely don't lack on the reverse search feature. I find this to be such a good feature for actually finding new products to sell and new places to buy products I've already found through other methods. And with this integration into Profit Go, it just makes things so much easier when you just kind of short for time and just want to find some profit. There's also been plenty of times where I've been literally about to buy something, say for like 15 quid, and then I've looked on Profit Go and it's found another site where it's going for like 12 quid. So it can literally pay for itself just through the discounts that it finds you. Next up is Keepa Product Finder. This actually isn't a method that I really use myself that much, just because I've always found it quite boring if I'm honest. But essentially what it is you're using the software Keepa, you're going onto the Keepa website and using their product finder tool. And the idea is that Keepa Product Finder gives you a huge number of different filters that you could put in to filter their gigantic database of products on Amazon. So usually you're looking for products that have low competition from other sellers. Usually Amazon is out of stock on these listings, or at least frequently out of stock. And then there's a whole other bunch of filters you could choose, like monthly sold, for example, and everything from the dimensions of the product to the category to literally pretty much anything you can think of. So for example, you get a list of all of the beauty products in the beauty category that sell at least 100 times per month, where Amazon has been out of stock more than 70% of the time in the past 90 days, and they've also got less than 10 other sellers on the listing selling it. So from there, you have a list of good products that are in demand on Amazon, and it's just a case of literally searching for those products online and try and find them at a profitable price. I know plenty of sellers that do this as their main sourcing method and they swear by it, but yeah, personally I've always found it's just so time consuming that it's just something I've not been interested in. My VA team do use it, but for me, I just use my kind of secret sourcing methods and that does me just fine. My tip for using Keepa Product Finder to find products is literally just stay consistent with it. Don't be like me, where you just give up after a couple of days because it's a little bit boring. If you want to make it work, you've got to stay consistent because it's all about the filters. You've got to get really specific with what you're finding, just as lots of people do and who have great success with this method. And that will just allow you to find products that other sellers just simply don't stumble across. And that's really what you want in Amazon FBA. You don't want to be kind of just doing storefront sourcing all the time where you're just finding all these products that everyone else knows about. You want to find those hidden gems that no one else is selling. I know for a fact that if I hadn't had so much success from my own kind of secret sourcing methods, Keepa Product Finder would definitely be my go-to. Next up, we've got Amazon to Amazon, or A2A as it's more commonly referred. This is one of my favorite methods personally. It's what I kind of came up off when I first started doing Amazon. It's just the thing that kind of I gravitated towards first of all, and it's still something I do a lot now in my own business. Essentially, it's a bit like trading stocks, but with physical stock on Amazon. You're basically buying stock as cheap as you can when Amazon have got it on sale, or or even when they've made a price error. And essentially you're just taking a bet on the price history that you think that product is going to go back up in price in the near future to a profitable level. Usually you're finding these deals either through just the Keepa deals page or a Discord group or a bit of software like Profit Path, for example. There are loads of tools out there that allow you to find A2A deals, so it's definitely worth doing some research on that. Overall, my main tips, especially as a beginner doing this method, is don't be afraid to buy something if you're unsure about it, because Amazon have a really great returns policy. What I did when I was first learning this method is I would just buy stuff, wait for the price to go back up, and if it hadn't within 30 days, I would just send it back to Amazon. You don't want to take the piss too much for returns, because Amazon don't appreciate it. Like, don't go too crazy, but if you're pretty confident with a deal, but just don't want to risk losing money, it's completely fine to wait a little bit, and then if you're wrong, that's fine. Just send the item back. But at least in my case, when I was buying these Amazon to Amazon deals and kind of first testing this method, I found at least 90% of the stuff went back up in price, and I was sending it into Amazon and making loads of profit. And I find in general this method is in some ways simpler than other online arbitrage methods, because you know where you're looking. You know the site is Amazon. You've not got so much choice where you've got thousands of websites on the internet to look at. It's just kind of simple, one place kind of shopping. I'll also say that Amazon often price matches other retailers, so a lot of the time you can pick up stuff that is on sale at other retailers directly from Amazon. So in a way, it's kind of a combination of several methods. It's, yeah, really good thing to look into. And finally, let me talk a little bit about wholesale. So this is something that I've always kind of shied away from. Like, I've looked into it, I've done it, but I found the margins just aren't that great, especially compared to most other kind of online arbitrage methods where you're making 20 or 30% ROI, if not even more than that. Wholesale is just where you'll buy from wholesalers in the much more traditional sense, where you're talking to kind of big distributors that you can't just kind of sign up and straight away start buying. They've got to kind of approve you, look into your company and stuff like that. Definitely can be a good avenue for scaling once you get to a certain point. Like, if you're working with hundreds of thousands of pounds, it's definitely worth looking into. But generally, I found it's just a little bit harder, and you're often expected to just take really low margins on this stuff. Often with arbitrage, the beauty of it is that other companies are losing money on that stock for you to be able to make a profit, and that just doesn't happen with wholesale. You know, wholesale distributors are here to take their cut, and so you've got to account for that in your margin, and unfortunately that just means lower profit for you. My tips for this method is just try and find kind of fairly unknown underground brands and try and reach out to them directly to see if you can get any sort of kind of direct to brand relationship set up. And I definitely also recommend when you reach out to them, keep it really professional, have a proper company domain email address, like not just felix@gmail.com, have a proper like distribution company or whatever set up, and just make it look like you really know what you're doing. You know, these people don't often want to sell to kind of small companies, and often they don't want to sell to Amazon sellers at all. So it can also be good. I know a lot of people will set up like a Shopify website and say that they're selling it through that. It is definitely just a lot of effort going into wholesale, and in my case, it's just not really being worth the kind of trade-off of all this extra effort and lower margins. That said, I know lots of people who have had success with it, so you know, it could be what works for you. And my final tip for wholesale is all about relationships and basically getting buddy with whoever's in charge of kind of pricing up these items and getting you a good deal. So make sure to kind of keep that in mind when you're reaching out to these people. It's always good to pick up the phone instead of just kind of cold emailing people, and just try and form a relationship with the people that you're talking to, because they're just people at the end of the day. So those are the 7 most common methods to find products as an Amazon FBA seller, but I would be lying if I said they were the best. The best sourcing methods are the ones that no one else knows about and just won't find online, and the methods in my mentorship program are exactly that. They've helped Sam make £60,000 in a single month, Wes has added £6,000 a month to his regular income alongside his 9 to 5, and Scott has managed to scale from just £500 in capital to making £4,000 a month in profit. And you're not going to find these methods anywhere else online. I'm offering a sign up deal this month where you can get access for just 290 quid a month. You can book a call down below using the link in the description right at the top to learn more. Finally, like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and click up here to watch my video to scaling to over £10,000 a month as a beginner doing Amazon FBA.